Yo, boys, what's up? It's day 42 of Road to 100k in 100 days. Today is Sunday. Today is the 18th of May. Sunday evening right here. I've just planned pretty much my week out on my calendar and on the piece of paper. The physical calendar and the, virtual calendar. I always like to do it in two places, so if I ever get distracted for a split second, I look on my computer, I see it. I look on I look on my desk, I see it. Keep it super simple. And really, I've got nothing different planned for the remainder of the week. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, I have no meetings booked. My intention is to book meetings, and that only comes through content, through ads, and through outreach and follow up. When I get these meetings booked, I do a little bit of research on the industry, not the industry, but the exact business and the location they're at and the target market they're serving. Pretty standard stuff, which is actually quite easy to do. And then when I jump on the sales call with these people, it's easiest one, two, three. There's no real selling, like manipulative selling. It's just a consultative sale. I say, if we can't help you, that's no stress. But based on the research, we can help you. This is how we can help you. This is what I think it'll look like for your business and the results you can expect. And just a heads up, this is how much it's going to cost. If you want to go ahead, let's do it. If not, no worries, we'll go our separate ways. Yes or no? That's really the basis and the premises of what I talk about with these prospects on the phone. So, yeah, ads, filming new content for my own ads, and just making sure my clients' ads are on point. Right now, we're only at 2 clients. As you know, the goal is 25, so I've got a hell of a lot of work to do, which is always good. There's always room for improvement. But if you want to know more about my ads and even the content I film and even the outreach, the initial call script, a follow-up call script, a sales script, a sales presentation, what that looks like when I'm actually on a Zoom call with a prospect, and how I approach that, let me know. If you want to know, let me know. I actually had a guy comment. I've addressed him already, but I just want to address him by name again. 1 second. You know who you are if you're watching this. It's the bro, Munhub TV. You did a really long comment explaining what you used to do back in Ireland, and that makes total sense. I actually replied to your comment on YouTube, but I thought I'd address it here. I can't remember exactly what you said, but it was along the lines of how you used to do something similar to me, and something about results. I may as well address it here, bro. Give me a moment, give me a moment. Because, yeah, a lot of people are curious of what I do, because when people ask me what I do, I just say I do social media ads for tradies. And that's kind of broad, to be honest. It's not actually very specific. So 1 second, my brother. Let me get my studio up, and I'll tell you exactly what you want to hear. Mm-mm-mm. Dun, 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 dun. Why can I not find this, bro? Anyway, I can't find it right now. But what I remember you commenting, my brother, is you said along the lines of when I mentioned. It was along the lines of when I said at the end of every month I call my customers, the people that I serve, the people that pay me. I call them and I ensure, really, I just trust them with their word of how many deals they close, because I know how many meetings they booked and how many meetings I booked for them and how many pretty much they went out and quoted. Yes, I do take their word for it. You're right. You were a bit shocked to see there was no, bank account details to see if anything goes through, or email access, I'm sure, to see if, things progressed. And you also mentioned that if I was calling my customers, so the leads that fill out my ads, okay, my ads for my company, I call them instantly. And the leads that fill out the ads for my clients' companies, my residential contractors, the people that fill out those ads, the homeowners, I also call those, but not as rapidly as I call my customers. Only reason is because usually I'm just not time free enough. right? I don't have enough time to make that many calls. But yeah, you said if I call them at the end of the month, the lead might be dead. You're totally right. I call them pretty much ASAP. If it's if it's a lead from my, if it's a lead from my agency, my personal agency where I have personal gain, I'll call that lead within an hour. And if it's a lead from one of my customers, I'll just call it whenever I have the time. Usually 3-4 hours, or at least within the day. And if it's in the evening, early in the morning, I'll probably flick them a text at night time. But yeah, I'm not sure why I couldn't find that video actually, bro. The comment rather. Not sure about that. Give me a second. Because it was a great comment, and you were right. It was on YouTube Studio. But now that I got YouTube Studio up, I can't actually see it, my bro. So YouTube Studio. Content. Oh, here it is, here it is. Yep. Biggest reason you stopped was because the trust aspect. Totally understand, bro. Yep. Yep. I totally relate, bro. You had a dozen on-site inspections for a client, and you were amazed he couldn't close any of them. He said none were qualified. Get what you're saying, bro. Had 3 exterior cleaner clients. 2 of them fucked me over like that. Put a very bad taste in my mouth about the entire industry, and you stopped. Understandable, bro. Yep. Did I misunderstand you? You said you called these leads up at the end of the month. That's far too much time between showing interest and closing, isn't it? You're totally right. Like I just explained, I tried to call them pretty much as quick as I can. Yep, totally right. You'd love to better understand my ad structure. My method of testing is, your method of testing is unique. In my very outdated eyes, I wonder how that's done now. You only run ads pre-iOS 14, so I'm sure everything's a bit different. I actually kind of commented, kind of made a video about that, actually before I saw this, about ad structure, but it was a bit broad and a bit all over the place. I kind of just, as you guys saw, I had a pen and paper, I was just scribbling out right in front of you. It wasn't really thought through, but if you'd like me to, explain exactly what I'm advertising, I can do that. But just as a heads up, all of my leads, so I'm talking about the ads I run for my agency, okay? I'm going to break these 2 ads into my agency ads and ads for my clients. My agency ads, they're pretty simple. They're just me speaking in front of the camera, some sort of value content. It's either, I've said this before, but whether it's a testimonial of some sort, whether it's just client results, whether it's just massive value, talking about the industry and how a customer could potentially, spot a gap in the industry or outsource something like advertising to someone like me. And then I'll have a call to action, and then I'll have a lead form saying, what's your name, what's your phone number, and what's your business name. You can ask way more questions than that, don't get me wrong, and have a whole form that they fill out, but my method is quantity over everything. Because when I call these people, and I can see their business name and their name, and I can type up their name on the company's register and see how long they've been in business, and if they have a website, I can see the website. If they have an Instagram, I can see their Instagram. If they have a Facebook, you get the idea. I can actually see where they're at in terms of business. Not in terms of revenue, of course, but in terms of social presence, which is what I'm there to help do. Increase their social presence and get them more jobs through social media. So that's a really basic, overview of what I do. But if you haven't guessed by now, my days are pretty similar every day. It's a lot of calls, it's a lot of texts, it's a lot of emails, it's a lot of voicemails, and it's a lot of stuff like this, me sitting in front of the camera filming content. And then, of course, all the planning that goes around that. And what's really helpful is the use of AI, the use of ChatGPT and the use of Claude. Not really just for the, entrepreneurial breakdown of the day, but actually as a business. I'm putting my customer information in ChatGPT and say, what else can I do to help? How can I be as valuable as possible? Aside from social media ads and following up with these people and doing this for them and then hopefully getting them this result, what else could I do as a freebie on top to be a good business person, a good entrepreneur? again, that's really it for the day. Again, it's a Sunday. I got a big week coming up ahead. I know I said I got no meetings booked, but I have a lot of people to call, and I have a feeling that I'm going to have a really good week, and that starts with tomorrow. Totally unrelated, but someone asked me about if I work out in the morning. Yes, I do. Usually all I do is bust out a few burpees, squats, push-ups, sit-ups, rotate those, but not that it's too related. But on the weekend I was playing football with the boys, and this happened to my wrist. Not too bad, but someone stood on my arm, stood on my hand rather. And I don't know if you can see that. It doesn't actually look too bad there. It doesn't look bad at all. But it's very swollen. See, I'm a thin guy. See this? You can see all that movement? Yeah. look at my knuckles. I got pointy knuckles. Look at this. Look at that. And look at this. Oh, Lord have mercy. Anyway, that's it for this video. Checking in tomorrow for day 43. Appreciate you guys. Remember to like and subscribe and follow along with the journey. Again, if you need anything, any advice, or you want to know anything from me, let me know down below. I'm always here to help, or I'm always here with open ears, ready to listen. Thank you, boys. Peace out.